Hello, everybody. Oh my gosh, we're so excited. Thank you for joining us on our very first on-location stream for PinTech Live. We are here at Columbia, South Carolina's Transmission Arcade. I should use my head to block that light. First up, let's see how do our levels sound. Kyle, hi. You look great on that nice camera, by the way.
How's it going? And also let us know if the games in the background are a little distracting. I think it'll be fine. But hopefully we don't sound like we're in a hard way.
How do
Hardway?
we sound?
Hallway.
Audio's good?
Wow.
That's exciting.
Well, good. At least if we got the audio right the first time, it makes up for all of our failures in the last 15 minutes.
Nice. Well, thanks, y'all. We apologize if we have any type of technical glitches. Again, this is our first time being on location. Hopefully the first of many. But worst case, if that happens, we are recording locally, and this will go up on our YouTube page, Marco Pinball, as our archive.
And we'll try our dangest to get the stream to come back up somehow, so hopefully. It's
been so long since I've been on this show, and seeing Kyle without his long, scraggly hair, and then you don't have your mask on, so you look very handsome with our nice camera. What do you think? You want to...
I guess I look handsome, thanks.
No, that was my segue to be like, oh yeah, we're not wearing masks right now because...
Yeah, so we're actually very lucky right now. Everyone in this establishment is fully vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccine. So we've decided to abstain from wearing masks until the restaurant does open in an hour. And then we will put our masks back on. But for the lip readers, this will be a good hour for you. Even though I do most of my talking with my back to the camera, so, you know.
So a little bit of housekeeping is our free shipping 99 code. Everyone's favorite part of PinTech Live, right? Because you get $10 off shipping, basically, for any orders over 99. I'm gonna put up that ticker. And because we have our Mother's Day campaign going, we actually finally introduced international deals.
Isn't that cool?
So for all of our friends in Canada and Australia and everywhere else, whoever Per Monson is.
Norway,
you can now use a code PIN-MUM in all caps for orders over $99. You'll get $10 off. So that's going on until Saturday, so please take advantage of that. And let us know how it works.
Yeah, and any of our international listeners that are finally getting to use a coupon code of some kind, let me know if you place an order, and maybe we'll throw a little something fun for you guys into the box.
Well,
so
I didn't agree to
I've got goodies on my desk that I could give away.
Do it. Yeah, we'll give you guys some good stuff. YouTube is up.
I
don't know why it's Colin's not being able to find it, but you're on Twitch anyways. It's good.
We having issues?
No, we don't have issues. Kyle's so nervous right now. Look at him.
I'm so nervous. And it's weird because instead of looking at my computer to talk to Emoto, I'm looking like 15 degrees to my left to look at her right there.
It's
so
weird.
This is fun, having her in the same room.
I could like pick something up, pick my mouse and
throw it to me.
No, I don't want to do it. All right. Our last housekeeping is we started a group, Discord group. And a lot of us have joined that, and we kind of talk after hours about our pinball repair projects and all the other good stuff. So I'm going to drop that in the chat now so you guys can join us.
Yeah, it's been fun. Chit-chatting away, talking about dogs and beer and cats.
I know, we have a pinball pets category. So that's been my favorite, everyone sharing their pet photos. So without further ado, let's talk about Transmission Arcade, Kyle.
Okay. Well, I think the best person to talk about Transmission Arcade is one of the 4 wonderful people who own said establishment, and I think he should stop looking at that screen and come on camera. This is Josh.
Hey, wait, come on the other side.
Yeah. We're both tall, so we can sit on both sides. Josh and his 3 other business partners opened this. Well, you tell. I don't want to say anything.
We tried to open March 2020. Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Here, let me do this. We're going to share a
Smart.
microphone.
I was literally about
Tried
to
to-
be professional now. This is
Open.
cute.
In March 2020, and then, everyone went through that. And so we kind of did some shifting, and that was fun. Like, we rented the games out for a while people were cooped up and did carry out. But now we're able to be back open with a lot of safety precautions in place, but everyone is able to come and game and play some pinball and break our games, which is great, which means they're getting played and loved on by Kyle.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're here. Come play pinball.
Yeah, for everyone who's in Columbia, you should come check it out, because everyone who's in Columbia has absolutely already been here. But if you're coming through South Carolina ever, Columbia is a great place to stop if you like being really sweaty in the summer. That being said, the things I really like about Transmission is the eclectic collection of games, which we'll do a quick look over with one of the cameras. I mean, everything from ice cold beer to a big red 4-slot Neo Geo to Killer Queen and X-Files, Deadpool, Skee Ball, a little bit of everything, and that's what's really fun, I think. Josh also has a console bar with everything from a Super Nintendo to a Xbox. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, Dreamcast. There's a beautiful Dreamcast there right now. The kitchen is incredible. The wings are definitely worth any sort of drive through the southeast.
No, it's fun. Columbia's a good spot for a lot of pinball.
Yes, Columbia is a good spot for pinball because we've got 4 amazing public locations now. Well, I guess 5 if you include Art Bar with 2 games that are very broken right now. Thanks,
That's
Columbia.
okay. Seems to be a trend.
Yeah, a trend of breaking stuff. So, thanks for coming on camera, Josh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for coming here.
Okay.
Anytime.
Yeah, thanks for letting us impose upon your business as you try to set up for a business day.
No, it's not an imposition.
Okay, good.
I
A
ripped out my
treasure.
mic.
Wow, we're loved.
That could have been smoother. How was that? Do you guys like that walkthrough? I actually did a Facebook Live video about 30 minutes ago where I show all the games. So if you want to see more what's behind that Killer Queen, check that out.
Yeah.
Bless you.
So, yeah, fun arcade. Everything's on tokens because who doesn't love tokens? Pinball is 2 tokens. Video games are 1 token. And a token does have a semi-monetary value of 25 cents. So, fun place, come hang out. But we do have some very broken pinball machines. Is that the segue we're going to run into right now? Or is that the segue I should have thrown out there?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, cool.
Let's talk about what's going on in front of you.
Or do we have any comments from the chat?
That guy, B. Smith, said, let's fix that multi-ball elbow cough.
Yes, we got that. No problem. And I'm also going to reset all the high scores. So anything that you erroneously earned, Brett, is going to be gone. So sorry.
It's a local.
Yeah, we're going to check out NBA Fastbreak. This is one of the most amazing games that Williams ever made. Fight me. George Gomez penned this thing, I think, in between Monster Bash and Johnny Mnemonic. Tom Uban did the software. I think Tom Uban did mostly slot machine stuff. But the game's super unique. There is so much going on in this game. I don't know how that check got signed to produce this thing. There's a lot in here. But it's a fascinating game with a neat scoring system. It is one of the only, I guess it's the only pinball machine I know that you can link up with another one. In the software, and a part of the design was that you could have 2 NBA Fastbreaks together, where you could both be 2 people could be playing at the same time and have a competition in points, like a basketball game. Which is really fun. A friend of the show, TJ, who has been on a few times, does have 2 fast breaks that are linked together, and you can play them at California Extreme if you ever go to that show. So, anywho, what?
Well, Crystal said Kyle looks like he could be a basketball man, and then Wild Man said, I think Kyle's neck grew.
Maybe.
What does that even mean?
Yeah, it did, because I got my hair cut. That's a good old man joke.
Oh.
Yeah. Thankfully, I'm not growing anymore.
Let's see.
Oh, thanks. Actually, I would much rather be shortening myself.
Ramp-O-Matic said Larry is doing the right ramp right now too.
Yeah, that's great because, check it out, it's broken. Like every single NBA Fastbreak has a busted right ramp. The geometry to this game is really fascinating. The way the ball shoots up, out, over, and this area always takes a lot of beating. This ramp has feeds from the back as an orbit. It feeds from the right side as a quick switch around. It's really neat. The game has some cool flow to it. It's amazing. Everyone needs to play this and find it. It's a really underrated game, so please find one. But instead of doing like an overview of the game, let's just open it up because that's actually the interesting bit. The big issue with this game that was reported to me was we had erroneous multi-balls. In a Williams game, what we're looking for a lot of the time with multi-balls triggering when they're not supposed to is our trough boards here. If the game knows that there's one ball in play, it can see through these optos here, which we'll take this off eventually. We've got 4 optos to see every ball in the trough. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th one to know when a ball is jammed, or it's called the trough jam, so when it's on its way out. If the game ever gets a weird signal of being like, hey, there's, the software will see an erroneous amount of balls in there, and the game will start kicking balls out because it's not sure what's going on. If it sees a phantom ball enter the trough when it also knows that it's out here, it starts to freak out. Anyways, what I found was there was actually a switch matrix short on this game. I don't have a manual, but I'll show you where it was in the game. I think what we can do with this is kind of also show like what a game that lives on location will look like, and some of the things you need to look at when doing basic maintenance on a location game. This game also happens to be a re-import, so let's look at that really quick. This is a WPC 95 game.
I like how he can just lift up the playfield with one hand.
Leverage.
Those guns. He plays a lot of hard body.
Yeah, definitely. This was the last hardware system Williams did before Pinball 2000. And some of these games, I don't remember when they started doing this, but your power distribution box, if it's a re-imported game, it'll always have a cover on the service outlet port. I think it was either in WPC, the security times, or maybe it was only in WPC 95. They introduced this reverse like IEC, male end IEC, so you can plug whatever plug into here using an adapter dongle. I didn't know that this was a re-imported game because it does have a American coin door on it. Sorry, I heard Steve talking. The other way I was able to immediately tell was your jumper plug here. This is super, super, super awful, and I'm going to want to replace it at some point. But using this combination, this plug here, and a certain combination where you cross these wires, that is what will dictate the voltage that the game will run on. So we see here that this game originally was wired and sold as an export game. Warning, 220 volts. This game was rewired to be used back on American voltage of 120 volts. But electrical tape does not belong anywhere here. That's kind of scary. So we will fix that at some point. Anywho, where was I? I don't know. Let's look at the switch matrix test. I want to show what's going on, and there are a few goofy things going on. Since I did find where the switch matrix short was, I don't know if it'll do it fully, but we're going to go into test here. It's going to say there's a bunch of switches screwed up. 42, 43, definitely on the same column. Oop, these buttons are dirty, so they're not wanting to scroll nicely. Switch edges. Well, okay, that's where I wanted to be anyways. Okay, so I did fix it.
You pound on games so much.
So that's what you got to do, though.
I got to fix this. Bum, bum, bum.
What that will do is, I'll show where this happened, but we had a pair of broken wires that happened to be behind this stand-up. And when we would hit this stand-up, or a lot of vibration would happen in this area, whether it be pop bumpers or the kick-ups to go into the hoop, the game would think that there was a ball in the ball trough here, or in the shooter, the ball jam position, and it would kick another ball out, and it would start this cycle of a fake multi-ball. It wasn't actually in the multi-ball mode, but you would have 3 balls on the play field all the time. The best way to check for these sorts of stuck switches is to put the game into switch test and do little pounds and see if you could get that vibration to make a switch activate there. That's the best way to find these things that are seemingly gremlin-like. I kind of wish I didn't move those wires because I could have shown that off better, but when you're looking at switch matrix shorts, the first place you always want to check is its stand-up switches. What I ended up finding, I need my light, I have to plug that in a second. I found that when I would pound on the game, I would get a P target and the trough to come up on the switch test immediately, one after another. And what that ended up being was 2 broken wires on this stand-up target.
No.
Stand-up targets are your #1 culprit for broken wires or shorts in the switch matrix. What happened here is one wire. Remember how switches are wired a lot of the time, kind of like a daisy chain, so they'll be doubled up. One on each side broke, and then they were sitting like on top of each other. So vibration there would trigger this switch closure and something here on the trough, and it would start kicking balls out. These break all the time because the force of the ball hitting the target just causes a lot of vibration, right? It's all the force of the ball hitting it is all absorbed through, the being held into the playfield here, and this with a bad solder connection, it's very easy for them to get brittle and break. So that's where I would always check for screwed up switches. It also just so happens that this thing is super duper loose. Super loose targets are bad. We'll start wearing out these holes will start to kind of oval out and it'll get screwed up. And Moto's bringing me some lights. Thank you.
I was like,
Yeah, I do need some lights. That's wonderful. So, on a location game like this, the goal isn't just to get in and fix something. It's also to try to prolong how long it's going to take you to have to come back out and work on the damn thing again. So we'll definitely be addressing this. We are going to start tightening. One thing I like to do with these games is really, always be wiggling and tightening and stuff. We're going to check for tighten things. This drives me insane when people move wiring harnesses and don't put them back in their P-straps. These flipper links are extremely old. The ones that we sell. Actually, here, let me get an example from my parts box.
Ooh.
We're going down into the box.
Should we just strap this camera to your chest? We're getting this is the first time we're getting this full view of everything.
It's kind of fun. A modern flipper crank will have this kind of like Pac-Man washer on the end of a stud, and that turns it into a one tool only removal process. These old ones, the way they are originally made, in this way, I would consider this the wrong way to do this also. I'd prefer to have everything reverse. Anyways, well, you couldn't. Actually, no, this is fine. Whatever, I'm backwards. I'm kind of hyper now because I was super nervous for a long time.
You're talking really fast. You can slow down.
Let me chill out. Sorry. These are old. You don't see them made like this anymore. If you have flipper cranks like this in your WPC game, they're old. Just don't use the crank again. Just replace the whole unit.
Wait, how can you tell that it's old?
Because it doesn't have that Pac-Man nut on the other side.
Okay.
It requires a Allen wrench and a 3/8 open end wrench to be able to loosen the pawl here, where this requires just a 3/8 inch wrench to loosen and remove. So, but that's fine. These don't have a lot of play, and the game plays okay. So I'm not going to waste my time rebuilding the flippers on this until they become, awful to play. One thing I did notice as well, you get a lot of cracked solder on these trough boards. That's where I started because I figured that would be the most likely culprit before I found this break in the switch matrix here. But check this out. Watch the switch matrix here. When I wiggle the connector, we're losing power. We've got cracked solder, and the game thinks that the ball 4 position on the ball trough is now occupied. So we're going to want to fix that. We're going to want to fix this bit and start tightening things up. So yeah, I don't know. Those are things that I've found.
Always be tightening.
This game is insane underneath. I mean, for each of the little shoots or pass mechanisms, I mean, look at these ball brackets. You've got one kicker and then two teeny coils that will kick the ball out and over to the next hole, so you could change which position you want it in. It's just, and I think these were only used in this game. There's another bracket that's really similar in Congo, which is basically, it might be this one here, where it's a kick-up coil and then a pop-out coil. But I just find it fascinating. This game has so many solenoid drives. It has an expansion board on it. It's really neat. So I think first things first, let's do some soldering on the floor because that's how we have to do it on location.
Floor soldering. You guys ready for this?
Yeah. So I'm gonna grab my. Actually, I kind of like this point of view like camera thing. I've got one of those IEC dongles in my toolbox at all times because it sucks when you lose them. There it is. Every single game came with one of these things, but you never ever find them in the game. So keep one in your toolbox for when you're working on these later models. I'm going to turn the power off if I can find the switch.
Yep, don't forget to turn the power off.
And then figure out how to plug it in.
Let the solder hit the floor. Let the solder.
What are we doing? Oh, let the solder hit the floor? Damn, how did I pick that button?
Oh, yeah. Obi Drunk Kenobi said, those cranks are a nightmare at the end of life.
Yeah.
And Family Game says, has Kyle ever had a playfield fall on him while working under it?
Yep.
I have.
Many times.
Yeah, we actually, one of our weekend streams for Bride of Pinbot, he was working on it and it fell on him during the stream and I had a heart attack for him.
Do you remember that day when Meteor fell on my head in the office, Steve? That was fun. Yeah, if it was a millimeter or two the other direction, the pop bumper or the flipper bracket would have like seriously crushed or like pierced my skull. So that would have been pretty metal. Death by Meteor pinball.
Kyle Cam.
I'm removing the IEC plug and now I'm going to remove the actual trough board as well.
And while he does that, just to remind all of y'all that are here in Canada and all the other awesome international countries, we figured out how to do international deals. So today through Saturday, insert the code PIN-MUM and you get $10 off for orders over $99. Bye. So take advantage of it. Let me know how it goes.
Hey, I can think of 3 people that watch us internationally, or 3
Yeah.
countries.
Come
I know
on, Daniel.
Canadians.
You need to buy
We've got
some
a
stuff.
Croatian fan, a Danish fan, a Norwegian fan. That's 4
Yeah.
people, yeah.
So Michael McKenna, thanks for joining us, says, can you talk about the basket opto? I'm bringing one back to life and the opto doesn't work in the switch test, but the game registers the baskets fine.
I don't know. We'll look at it. I'm not super like front to back familiar with this game, so I can't speak to that. There might be like a fail-safe in software where if the first switch, like the basket opto, doesn't see something pass through it, there might be another switch downstream that will score, if that makes sense. I don't know. We'll have to look at it. I don't have the chance to work on too many NBA Fastbreaks. It's not like the most common game of all time.
It's like the most gorilla grip.
I've never had to actually work on one enough to bring it back to life, but so let's see here.
Savvy.
So this does look like the section, yeah, ball 4. Okay, let's look at this really quick. We can see that this could be a death by previous work, possibly. He said that the ball 4 LED, or the ball trough 4 was the one that was failing, or was erratic when I would wiggle the plug. So we can see that, like, these are just, it's an IR LED, so it's a diode. So juice in, juice out.
So which one is it that's messed up?
This one here, we can see that one's been replaced. Can you see the shininess from this flux? Now look at the ball 4 solder job there on that connector. Do you see how it's really dull?
Oh yeah, it does look different than the rest of them.
And that one also happens to be a pass-through. The connectors, this is a double-sided board, so some of the connections are, the traces are on the LED side, the other bits are on the solder side, so I could bust out my, what's it called? The jeweler's loop, but I'm just gonna shotgun this because it will take just a few seconds to resolder all of these. So yeah, floor soldering, let's do this. You don't have the luxury of having a wonderful bench when you're doing things on location, so you have to get used to doing all sorts of fun pinball yoga and working on the floor.
Let's see, focus.
Let's hit this real quick and see if we can get some life.
Midge, do you want to tilt down with the
is that
Sony
better?
cam? It's
Here.
still the Sony cam. That's funny.
Yeah, we've got really slow
Nice.
internet today,
And
but
then
we've
you'll
got
do-
like
you'll
the
do a
nicest
little
camera ever.
focus.
What I'm gonna do is add a little bit of solder to my iron, and we're just gonna try to get some of these things hot.
great.
I'm gonna add a little bit of solder to each and every single one of these pads also, because just for thoroughness, I want to just kind of repair all of them. I don't like jumping in and possibly creating new problems where they didn't exist, but we're gonna do it. I am bridging some of these.
Oh, you didn't flux,
No,
and you got called out for not
I don't have
fluxing.
any flux with me. That's why I'm using the flux in fresh solder to do this. I usually
Hermanson's like a bar stool. Use a bar stool.
that would be nice, but I can't be bothered to go get one.
This is the things you have to do when on location.
I mean, normally I would try to do this on another game, right? I'd set up something on the glass of another game, put down some a towel, and work on that. But I'm going to work on one of the fine bins that we put your parts in before they go in a box.
Yeah, Molly, we don't have the Translite for NBA Fastbreak. Midge, where do you think the best place to try to find one of those are?
Probably eBay, to be honest with you.
eBay.
They're really hard to come by.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I think you can get the background piece still, right? But I don't think you can get the front Translite.
The foreground, it's hard to still find.
The background of this game, the back box actually contains a flipper, which you can activate to make some baskets, and it's really fun.
Oh, yeah.
And
I forgot about
that back panel does get worn out, but usually we'll look at that because actually this game it's very rough back there, and it's really common for those plastic bits that guide the ball around the back box to fail.
Ooh, Molly, look right there. Justin Frintz has an extra Translite available.
Nice.
Y'all should connect. That would be awesome. That's awesome.
I'm gonna add a little bit more heat to get this solder to go
Why
through
does
here.
it feel like I hear Mario Kart? There isn't Mario Kart here, right?
No Mario Kart.
No,
What is
It's
that?
just in your head.
What's the music?
it's either the Neo
It's
Geo or
not bad. It just keeps reminding me of like Mario Kart, Super Nintendo Mario Kart or something.
The music that was just
It's like.
playing right
Dun,
now,
dun, dun,
that's
dun,
Marvel
dun,
vs.
dun.
Capcom.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Next time it comes on, I'll look over at Jimmy to the one.
I knew it was something I kept hearing from my childhood over and over again. It's like, what is that source?
We often have Dr. Mario up on the Super Nintendo, and there's something.
I'm gonna break the rules and just put a little solder on the
that
top side.
Sounds like our printer is like. It's like the same beeping. And for months, it was driving us nuts. What is wrong with the printer? What it's like?
Okay, I think that's good.
Are the games in the background super loud for y'all, or when we talk, is it okay? This is something that we're gonna get used to, especially when we start going to shows. We can't quiet the entire show, so we're trying to work out all the kinks now.
Yeah. It's hard because I'm mostly deaf,
it is awesome.
so we'll see how that works out.
Can't wait to play off-road later. I'm gonna smoke Midge.
Oh, whatever, man. Samurai Showdown too.
Oh yes, we're a team in that one though, right? Oh no, it is versus. I was thinking of
Ninja Warriors.
Actually, here, we could do a real
Shogun
test.
Heroes. It's a side
Yeah,
scroller.
oh, it's in Goku.
No, Sunset Riders.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. That was so way different, but that's what I was thinking of.
Cowboys. and
Hey,
Samurai.
DeWiz, thank you. It's good to be back, and I'm here on location with Kyle's knee at Transmission. Let's see if we can get a different view.
We use our handy dandy infrared light stick. Oh, I just realized I was showing everyone my butt. What camera is
Look,
on?
I can do this too. On all the cameras.
Oh, great.
Watch this.
So I'll show everyone what I'm doing here in
Nice.
just a
Thanks,
second.
Mitch. Good call.
They all look a little, they're kind of dim, but that doesn't mean they won't work. Let's see. So I've got this tool here. It's an infrared light detecting tool. There's a pad here. There's some there's a little test area, and this bit reacts
cool.
to infrared light. So
Can we
actually-
see it on the camera?
yeah,
Do it?
could you maybe, I don't know. Hopefully it shows up. Can you hold the camera actually?
Okay.
I can get it.
Yeah, get it, Mitch. Yeah, why am I getting up? I just love operating
I don't know.
cameras, so I'm like, I've been, oh God, shooting for the past 2 weeks.
It's hard to
on
see.
camera.
We have to go in the dark a little bit.
I gotta
but
focus.
does that show through the little orange dot on this stick?
It's purple.
Oh. In
It's
my
orange on yours?
Yeah, it's orange in real life.
Wait, tilt up, Midge. Try to aim the stick more towards the camera.
I
yeah.
can't because then too much
Light will get-
light pollution happens.
It looks like a white dot.
Huh. Well, but that's how you can tell if there's some light coming through. The other easy way is to just attach it and put it in switch
Oh,
test
yeah.
and see what happens. But
That's cool. That's pretty fun.
the game freaked out when it initialized because it didn't see any optos.
Oh yeah, the camera is seeing the actual IR LED light instead of the orange underneath it.
Yeah. So as I get this back into position, I should be able to drop a pinball inside the trough. And then if I'm extra careful, I can hold the ball with a screwdriver and test each of those LEDs, or I can just put all 4 balls in and see what happens.
Don't lose it.
Yeah, it's really easy to lose screws when you're on location, so make sure you always have a lot of extra everythings.
Look, I can just sit here and adjust the lighting. How convenient. I just don't like how green I am.
There just has to be a screwdriver in one of my pockets. What did I do with that one?
Screwdriver. Never leave home without
There
your
we go.
screwdriver.
So I can put this, can we see the back of the back box? Can you throw like the camera on the back box to watch the switch test? Because what we can do is we can try to replicate first like what was happening before.
Nice.
Okay, so, you know what, that
And then,
could
yeah,
also
that front
be,
one to focus. You got it. Yeah, solid. Nice.
it's solid, but what I think is happening now,
Sorry, solid for focus.
oh. This LED is not happy still. So I'm wondering actually if the solder connection at the, it wasn't the connector, I think the previous work could also be kind of flaky. When I flex the board around it, it doesn't happen to necessarily just be the connector. If I flex the board near the LED, it cuts in and out. I can also stick I won't be able to show this, but I can stick my vision stick inside.
Yeah, at Transmission, there's just the one NBA Fastbreak. Maybe one day they'll get 2, and then Kyle can link them up, and we can all battle that way.
So you know what, actually, I should have checked this before. I think what was actually happening is when I put when I put some pressure on the board, it just so happens where LED 4 is, it gives it a lot of flex room. So what I think was happening actually is when I would wiggle this enough, the LED would actually start pointing far enough away from the photo transistor, which is the receiver, and think that there was no LED there. It seems very reliable. I'm not losing the infrared light. I also didn't lose too much time taking that apart and double checking it. But I hear through, I'm putting my screwdriver through and blocking each path, and I can see all of them working pretty reliably. They do go away pretty quick because the bit where the LED is focused is very small. Anyways, I think that's okay. But we took it out and we reflowed the solder, so hey, maybe someone learned how to do that. But let's actually go and address the real problem, which was the switch short from the broken targets in the back. Turn the thing off again. And let's see if we can get a camera. Maybe I'll bring the green camera over and I'll see if I can get some light splashed on it, and we can do a little bit more of looking at this.
Watch this.
This is kind of fun because there's no like no-show zone. I don't have to like be careful about where I turn the camera.
Ooh, dramatic.
It's a little Dutch, right?
Midge, I feel like we have to get you on a camera. I mean, like, set you up on my webcam and put you next to me. Does everyone want me to take time to do that?
It's fine.
I will do it.
Whenever Steve's on camera, everyone's always like, "Where's Emoto?
Emoto?
Where's Emoto at?"
No.
Boy, Emoto, you sure got
But
ugly.
we're the Triforce, man.
This was fun. When I tried to take the back box out for the first time, someone used some
There's
packing
always
tape
a no-show.
to try and tape the lift trim back together.
Oh, I was like, what is that?
Yeah. So very quickly, I lifted up the back, the translite, and it just went thump, and everything fell out. So, anyways, I'm gonna plug the soldering iron back in, and we'll take care of our one switch short here. And then I think I want to open up the back box to show what that looks like because it is kind of cool. There's not many games with flippers in the back box.
That guy B. Smith said, I can't figure out how to get a championship ring on this game.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not good enough at pinball. You're way better than me.
He was talking to you, not me.
Okay, so this is kind of annoying to work on because it's all behind this wiring loom.
thanks for
So we
dropping in
could
that link, Lee.
remove
Everyone
the
follow
switch
transmission.
and hang it over the side and give us a little bit more room to work. But I think I'm just gonna struggle through it because, you know, what's the fun in something if you don't struggle? We're gonna tighten it back up first off. Again, stand-up switches are always your number one culprit, and stand-up switches also are generally loose because they do get pummeled a lot. Especially on this game with the flippers being so close to those switches, or the switches close to the flippers, who knows? Always have to make sure I have my soldering iron hanging from the right place because it's always really fun when you're working in shorts and you brush up against the soldering iron, you're like, whoa!
Ooh. Yeah, his soldering iron's just dangling.
I'm gonna strip these guys back a
Obi,
bit.
Drunk Kenobi, flippers in that back box. I do not know enough about this machine. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. There's a little goal, and it has a little plastic basketball.
goal?
Yeah,
You mean a
like a
hoop?
goal you shoot it in. It's a goal. It's a hoop. And you shoot the little plastic basketball in. How do you activate that? You guys know.
There's a mode, and then this game doesn't have a shooter rod. It's got a shoot button on the lockdown bar, so you can slam the button to shoot the ball into the hoop. It's a timed mode, so you have a certain amount of time to get as many baskets as you can.
Yeah. And if we had two, then you can link them up together and battle.
I think that actually needs to be a goal. There needs to be another NBA Fastbreak in here so we can link two together. So
Yeah.
whoever's gonna pony up for that, you know.
So Leaf Carrot saying that it was registering hoops when the ball was missing. I think it just counts button presses.
I think there's a failure bit in the software that if it doesn't see a switch closure, it just registers that when it's not working.
So are you fixing that?
No, that's fixed now, but I will show. Josh fixed it using some arts and crafts. But we do have all of the stuff to repair it, and I'll bring that up once we're actually in there. What fails on that bit, because it's real common. What are we doing for time? How soon are the happy people going to come into this
Oh my gosh,
establishment?
it's 3:57.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, we did start like 20
I
minutes
feel like
late.
I just blinked.
Yeah, seriously.
That's because we're having so much fun, right? I mean, I'm just really looking forward to eating food as soon as we turn the cameras off.
Goaltending is a thing in basketball. Goaltending, yeah, see?
Oh, I think I lost my, I'm losing tools now. This is very bad. I lost my needle nose pliers. I think they're at home, but
Oh, no.
thankfully you never leave home without
A second pair?
a second pair of needle nose pliers.
This guy's so professional.
It's the only game with purple targets?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I just got more of those in stock from one of our vendors. We haven't had them for a while. I'm going to try to gather up both of these wires and hold them in the right place with the needle nose pliers.
Can you only link to NBA Fastbreaks?
Yeah.
You can't do like 17?
No. Maybe in the future.
In the future, really? They're going to come out with a new update.
Yeah, George Gomez, Tom
We
Uben,
wanna
if you're
get a
watching
shot,
this,
huh?
please give us the ability to link a dozen NBA Fast Breaks together.
Stop. Let's see.
What you got?
I want to do this. Oh. Yeah. Can you see it? Ooh. Ooh, we're getting such cool shots today.
With you as director of photography instead of me just bumbling around with cameras.
Well, you're kind of like, focusing on fixing the game, so that's sort of
Fixing or
important.
breaking? We'll find out.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. This is a pain. I should have probably just taken the switch out because I could have gotten a better camera angle, but it's easier to not have to fight with gravity. But there is a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, and just a reminder, Kyle is a professional solderer. If you're not, I'm gonna put a little towel underneath where you're soldering, so you don't get any solder drip onto any of the other wires or boards or anything like that, because
Yeah.
it could mess stuff up, right, Kyle?
It could very much give you a massive headache trying to figure out where that teeny ball of solder may have dripped to. So yes, that's worth it. Hey guys.
Oh. I'm gonna go ahead and put on the mask, y'all, because people are starting to come in.
It is time to put masks
come in
on.
close. Check it out.
Like where you put the tokens that sort of trigger the game to start for you. So you put the tokens in and they kind of drop back in that box back there.
All sorts of goodies. Here, have a token. Go play something.
Yeah. All right, let's go play something else.
Enjoy.
I'll grab some more tokens.
And then we'll show you more when we turn the cameras off.
So what do you want to play?
I hope that every single kid that I've ever showed the inside of a pinball machine to maybe goes on to do something like this.
So we're not going to do the card game, but there are other things you can play.
Oh yeah, sorry. Soon you'll be able to play Crazy Taxi.
Soon.
I don't blame
Soon.
him. He wants to play Crazy Taxi.
Who doesn't?
I know. It's such a good game.
It's one of the greatest games of all time. I think so many people bought a Dreamcast just to play Crazy Taxi. I mean, I did. Yeah, this soldering here is really sloppy. I was just going to try to solder the wire on top, but there's actually like really blobby. When you've got these really blobby wires, or solder blobs, you definitely have someone who didn't heat things up well or is using crummy solder. So I'm going to extract said solder and flick it into the bottom of the game. And then try...
Kyle. Leaf Carrot, you are hilarious. Boo Boo, what's up, dude?
I would normally flick it on the floor, but not in with these nice floors in here. So, in the shop where we've got, or on a concrete surface, I totally always flick the solder down there. But this is hard. I'm gonna take the target out.
Do we have the unobtainium metal ring in the basket of the left hook ramp?
The what? Tell me again.
Justin Friend says there's another unobtainium part in the metal ring of the basket of the left hook ramp.
Yes, there's a lot of unobtainium parts on this game. They just didn't make very many. And there's a lot of parts that are kind of complex on this game as well, which makes it hard to reproduce a lot of this stuff without having to charge a literal arm and a leg to people to buy them.
We have a lot of people in the chat right now that have a fast break. That's really amazing.
That what?
That have a fast break.
Yeah, it's a popular
John
game.
Max,
I mean,
NetSat has
for a
one.
long time, this was a super entry-level dot matrix game. People always look down on this game as, you know, a D title, which is absurd. I think this is one of the greatest games Williams ever made. It's just so unique.
Pinball Profile, Mr. Teolis, thank you for joining us on our first on location stream.
Yes, thanks for joining
us.
We're gonna try to get these together.
Nolan is parting out his fast break. Do we need anything from Nolan from his fast break so we can get them recreated?
Probably. Depends on what you have, and also why the heck are you parting out an NBA Fastbreak? It must be pretty rough. I've seen a lot of rough games from this era, so it's not unlikely. This is hard.
He's parting it out to make a Medieval Madness.
I have words to say to you, but
Nolan, you crack me up.
yeah, let me think about that. Definitely send me an email because there are things that I think we do need to get samples of.
Support the community.
And come on, Medieval Madness, you could turn it into a good game like Attack from Mars.
Whatever, I love Medieval Madness. That's one of my favorites.
Okay, that's almost good enough. At least I've got it tacked on, so now we can go in and I can, I'll give it the tug test. There's a lot of solder on the back of that thing, but it'll be okay for now. It's not touching anything, it's not gonna get in the way.
No, Attack from Mars is awesome. We love Attack from Mars.
I think definitely like the goal when you are working on these, a game on location is to absolutely touch everything you can. To find things that are broken, find things that are loose. I always like to come and tug on the leads on these stand-up targets because I'd rather have it go when I'm testing it as opposed to having it go when I'm not here and ready to work on it, so.
That's fair.
I mean, this is also, I guess, you don't have to think about this as on location either. This is also stuff that really pertains to you maybe working on your game the first time.
Lucky. So lucky.
I got reflexes like a drunken cat. Let's see, there's a couple other things that I did find to be problematic, and I do want to see now, we'll put it back into switch test and see if we're getting those goofy errors anymore. I'm constantly unplugging my soldering iron so I don't burn, melt, or hurt myself. It makes me mad that this game doesn't have a shooter rod. I can't hang it from the shooter.
Circle. He's like, I don't know where to go.
Be careful.
Are you just setting it behind me so I lean back on it?
Yes.
Nice. Justin Prince has 3 of them. Goodness.
All right.
I'm smoking. But really, where did he put it? I don't know where he put it.
All right, so the test report's gonna say there's issues with some of those purple targets because we broke the chain in the switch matrix. P is the one we just fixed, right? PT. Yeah, which cameras do we want?
Oh, the cameras.
We want to look at the switch matrix test on the dot matrix screen. We just repaired 3. So 3, oh sorry.
I'm just gonna go in the title. That's where you put it.
I'm sorry.
This guy, he got me. I literally just touched. Why would you put it on?
I'm sorry.
Why would you put it right here?
Because it won't melt anything on the floor.
Put it on the camera and on the light stand.
I'm a bad person.
Put it on the light stand.
I feel bad now.
It's okay.
Just put it on the lockdown bar with the metal part putting on the lockdown bar in Crazy Taxi's seat. There you go. Oops. We have our first PinTech injury.
This guy, you saw me looking for it everywhere, right, y'all? Look at my hand.
Oh my god. I owe you a drink.
It's okay. I stick my hand in fire all the time.
Everything's
That's just
working
hilarious. It was dangling right behind. No one said in the chat it's dangling right behind you, Emoto.
I gave only one warning. My bad.
Yeah.
It seems like everything.
Until last injury, 0.
It seems like everything is working. We've got all 3 switches working now. We're getting no weird in between jiggle trough activations anymore. We could put the playfield down in playing position and I could pound on it a bit.
Oh.
It's okay.
Webster,
We're getting
that's
nothing
erroneous.
erroneous. I want to double check because I think there was one more switch error.
I hold my ginger beer.
Nope. We've gotten rid of the credit dot, so that's good. Let's pour the balls into the trough really quick and watch all 4 of those switches go on. So this is going to be a lot of the stuff on our trough. These are all optos. All these switches that are seemingly closed right now are optical switches. So 1, you can watch it roll down into its first position. So all 4 of those are good. We're going to do a little bit of jiggling again. Nothing's weird. We're going to manually actuate the ball up and out of the trough to watch the eject one look close. So there we go. They're all working. They're all good now. So that was a pretty easy fix. Someone said something about the hoop opto. Oh yes, right here. So that switch actually isn't on the regular matrix. Let's take a look at that really quick. Can we do the small camera?
Yep.
So back here.
Yeah, there you go.
Back here by the shot clock, we've got our hoop. The hoop is, you can get into the hoop by nailing this ramp super good, and then each and every single one of these wire forms allow you to pop the ball into the hoop if you want to shoot. There is an opto in here, but what I do see is there's a micro switch down here. Can you see that where my finger is?
Yes.
Sorta.
Maybe, sorta.
Let me get a poker.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Where'd I get a poker from?
Poker?
I don't have any good pokers. Here's a poker.
Use the soldering iron that has my skin melted onto it.
That switch right there.
Oh,
what could be happening is the software is going to score the hoop. I'm trying to think of like how the logic behind this would be, right? There's no way for the ball to sneak in here unless it comes through here. But there must be a reason why they have an opto and not just this switch. This switch, I think, is here for it to be able to move the block. This guy moves left and right to block shots. So maybe this switch is here to know, the game can tell where this is. It's on the motor and it rotates in that semicircle. So this switch here might work in software to take up for if this switch is not functioning, if that makes sense. Even though the main purpose of this switch is to, know when the ball is behind this block, to let it go or to stage it. So I think that is maybe what is happening. The failure points on here, the transmitters are always what go out, not the receivers generally. These guys, you'll get broken solder. on the little pads on the back of the board here. That's most of the time what your problem is. So, anyways.
Wildman said the opto might be used to generate a sound or something else.
Sometimes, but I think that would be a really expensive way for them to generate or just have it call up a sound, right? Each one of those optos does cost money on the bill of material, but yeah, very possible. I don't know. So other things I've noticed with this game, see how loose that is?
No. Yes.
We don't want it to be loose. I want to get in there and we want to tighten that. I'm trying to find other things. These ramps are kind of inherently floppy. These guys are working. We've got some worn rubbers here. This game is not ready to be like taken back to the shop and like taken apart and have a real shop job done on it. But there are things we want to look at since we're in here. It's not worth having to come back to go replace a broken rubber. So we're always wanting to check this kind of stuff. These things are okay. I really like this diverter on this game.
Nice. We have that blue thing in stock, I believe.
I don't know, but yeah, let's tighten this thing. So I got to get the balls back out. What we got? There's a way you can empty the balls in software. If we go empty balls, we have to pull the interlock switch out, and then it's going to launch the balls into the game. And I should be catching them because it's a lot quicker that way, but I have an empty hand.
Hurry.
Okay, so that's one way to capture the balls, or you can just hit the plunger. Put the interlock switch in to get all the voltage off of the playfield, the higher voltages. And move this back and raise the playfield up.
Oh my God.
Throwing tools all over the place.
He lifted it up and all the balls fell out. Oh man.
I didn't need that screwdriver anywho. We got that ball guide that's right here. I want to tighten this guy down. You do want to be really careful when you're tightening down these screws that hold ball guides. There is a possibility that this is probably just a little loosey-goosey, but we don't want to go super ham on it because we don't want to snap the thread of the spade bolt, which is attached to the metal bit. You see that guy right there next to that post? Does that come through at all?
Wait, what are you pointing at?
See that ball guide, that rail?
Yeah.
And then there's a little bolt with a rivet through it next to it? That's the spade bolt. That's riveted to the lane guide. So if you break the thread, which is poking out through here, it's really annoying to repair. So we're going to be extra careful and make sure we're not pulling the threads. So I'm going to get a 11/32 nut driver. I'm going to try to do this really quick. It's really loose. When I put this guy on here, I can use my thumb and my pinky, and I can get rotation out of it. So it's just loose. We're going to tighten it up until it gets snug. And I'm going to reach around, and it's tight as can be. So little things like that will go longer to making this game stay happy. We are going to put this back around here because it's driving me nuts. It looks like someone actually messed with this harness because this seems big for this P-strap, but whatever. Nice and snug. Now things aren't going to go awry. This bothers me. Someone replaced the a flash lamp socket. And I mean, it's okay, but it's not ideal. Someone also dressed it really poorly. This would be a bit of a repair to get in to fix, but we've got this wire coming out here. They never stapled it back around, so this thing's kind of hanging out really close to the rod and ring here. That's kind of, I don't know, you lose a lot of points for that when you don't dress the harness nicely. I could try sticking it into this P-strap to see if it will stick away from like the rod and ring a little bit, but I don't know. I don't know if that's like any better, but at least it keeps it away from that a little bit more. But yeah, I don't know. NBA Fastbreak. We fixed a couple problems. I think now it's ready to keep earning some cash. There's some other things I would want to do. If I was doing like a service call on location, or if this was my game, I would come in and I would clean it, right? You just do a quick wipe down with some Novus, put some wax on it, and put it back to onto into service. But thankfully, we've got Josh to do all the cleaning. He likes that.
I thought we were gonna see some cleaning going on today.
Some what?
Cleaning.
Cleaning. I've got Novus in the back of my car. I could go get some. Oh, there's a pinball flying around too. Let's get into the back box. I don't know where the glass went for this game. I think Josh really got it out of the way. I like working in the back with the glass on, but for now we're going to break that rule. I'll set up the camera and we're going to try to pry the back box off because it is missing its lift trim. So this thing's actually kind of heavy because it does have a flipper back there. So I'm going to do something to you guys not to repeat unless you really, really need to.
Oh no, what is he gonna do?
I want to see. It doesn't have a key. It doesn't have a key. Let's see. Since it doesn't have a lift trim, right? The lift trim is the bit I can grab with my fingers to lift it up and out. We're going to have to pry it out, which is kind of sucky. Okay, I've got it unlocked. I'm going to grab a prying device. I am going to wedge it underneath the tub.
Oh wow.
And we are going to try to gently lift this out without breaking it. This is like a 3-piece assembly. You've got your front translight in the tub, or I guess it's a 2-piece. So I'm trying to get it to get above the DMD, and out it goes. If you've never seen a WPC 95 game,
nice.
They all use this tub in the back here to hold all of the lamps. And this one also happens to have a flipper. So instead of having an insert panel, right, something that we would have to fold out of the way, they built it with vacuum formed plastic, which is good and bad. It is bad because these do end up getting really brittle. And they can break. So be careful. They're not fun to replace. Thankfully, they're very easy to unplug and get out of the way. Before we look at the fun bit, let's just look at the hardware. We've never had this late of a game on our show before, so we can kind of go over some of the stuff that they did with WPC 95.
Cool.
If anyone wants to see.
Yeah.
The dot matrix panel is now hinged on these games. So instead of just lifting it up and pulling it away, you lift up and you can pivot it down. So it would actually hang instead of relying on like wire tension or something like that. So that's kind of neat. They're plastic. There's 2 flavors you can get, Bally and Williams ones, which is kind of fun. Once you've got that up and out of the way, the board is the board set is slightly simplified.
Mitch, did you see Nolan's
question? The board set's a little bit simplified from the earlier games. The layout is still similar, but they've reduced them in count. We've got our computer here. The sound board and the dot matrix board are now merged into what they would call the AV board, the audio visual board. And then the driver board is also very different. At this time, Williams was aware of the deficiencies of the old driver board, the failing capacitors, the 12 volt and 5 volt system being a little weak. Even though this game does suffer from the same issues, they did try to redesign some things to make it a little bit easier and have a little more life to them. So the other thing that's missing here is our Fliptronic board. So the Fliptronic board, it now exists here on the driver board. So all the solid state flipper control exists here. So they've reduced the amount of silicone in the back of the game, which is really neat. Things that have changed if you're really familiar with this system. Actually, let's get the small camera so I can get closer. Is that cool?
Yeah.
We could do a deep dive onto some of these things. The WPC 95 MPU is kind of a step backwards from the old stuff from the security days. Williams knew about leaking batteries. I mean, everyone knew about leaking batteries. But someone had a great idea to mount the batteries low on the board and off in those mid-WPC games, where instead of on the board, where they would leak and destroy the switch matrix. So, I don't know, maybe they fired that guy, and the person after that designed this board had no idea what was going on. They decided to mount the batteries not only back on the board, but let's put it up high, where it's above all of this really expensive stuff to destroy, which is annoying.
You gotta change that.
Yeah.
Take it off.
We'll remote this or put a Ramtron in it. They did actually wire up a plug here, auxiliary battery, so you could have a battery plug pack off to the side and use that to stuff battery connection to. This game looks like it's suffering from reset issues, so someone has that handy dandy reset daughter board installed. The AV board, again, it produces all of the voltage for the dot matrix, as well as processing the sound. So it's just a gigantor board. These ribbon cables are old. You can tell how discolored and nasty they are.
Yeah.
They look like they've suffered through either
the
some
ribbon cable
smoking
kit.
or some burning components. Smoking being like cigarette smoking. It tarnishes the color of this stuff really fast. So this game probably was in a smoking bar at some point. The driver board now uses these teeny weeny little fuses. Instead of having those big bridge rectifiers, you've got 12 or 16 discrete big diodes to make up a bridge rectifier instead. Yeah, they're just different.
Can you go over the alternatives to changing the battery packs? Because we have some new people in the chat. And we actually do have a few episodes.
On this game, what we'd have to do is we'd have to remove the RAM. We would socket it and then install a non-volatile RAM, a RAM that does not require batteries to save its memory. The other options would be to remove this battery pack, install a battery pack mounted to the side of the cabinet, and then run wires over to this to simulate having the batteries up here but keeping them off the board. If soldering's not your thing, there are options where you can replace these like wooden dowels inside of here and mount the battery pack over here. So instead of having to remove the pack and solder them in, you could just put false batteries up here. There's a few options. The best bet, if you can, is to always install a Ramtron or a non-volatile RAM. That eliminates the battery issue altogether, which is where you want to be. But if you can't solder that, but you can solder wires in here, and there's nothing wrong with remote battering. Yeah, that's NBA Fastbreak.
Yeah,
Kind of a
and we
neat
actually,
system, right?
On our YouTube channel for our archives. Oh, thank you. You just gave me an orange. Anyways, on our YouTube
Don't leave
archive-
your wing bolts
Yeah,
out.
video installed.
Don't rely on the little latch back there. At least install one of these things. 2 of them is absolutely preferred. So I will be putting the wing nuts in right now. So any questions? Am I talking too fast still?
Do you remember what episode we did that battery pack?
I think that we did one on Bride of Pimbot, so that was a long time ago.
So look up the Bride of Pinbot on our YouTube. We did a Ramtron.
Ramtron on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The Data East games are easy because all you have to do is pop the RAM out and put it in. On all Williams games, you have to unsolder the RAM, install a socket, and then install the chip into the socket. You can put Ramtrons into the WPC games, but there are a few instances where you might miss out on like the Midnight Madness modes, where there's only a few games, but I'd rather miss out on a Midnight Madness mode than have my computer eaten by batteries, you know. So when it's possible, do it. If you're going to send the board out for repair for whatever reason, have whoever's repairing your board install a Ramtron. It just makes sense. So let's look at that cool back box really quick.
We all needed a refresher course on NVRAM. Maybe Crystal, who is Blue Continental right there, we can have you on the show doing a battery swap with an NVRAM as one of
We're
our
going to use the
PinTech
fancy cams to look at the back box because I don't have enough hands to show it off.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you've got
Focus.
your big tub back box here. All these games have these kind of awful plastic sockets in the back. I say they're awful because they work on a IDC principle in the insulation displacement connectors, but they're also plastic and they get very brittle. At this point in time, these things are all very brittle, which can be problematic. Anyways, this game also does have a super sweet flipper in the back. And what that does is when you get it in the mode, or the time when this happens, you can...
I'll buy you a beer if you can make that shot in holding it like that.
Oh, come on. Well, looks like I get no free beer. To get to this, it's pretty easy. We're missing one piece of trim already. We're going to carefully remove these bits because they are, again, old and brittle. I'm going to start from one side and just gently peel up. I don't think I'm going to do the actual job today, but I want to show what goes wrong with this stuff.
Nice. Man, this camera is so beautiful. We're shooting on the A7S II with a 35mm Rokinon lens. We have LED lights all around with soft boxes on them. Beautiful.
Okay, once we get it all apart,
Oh wow, that's so cool.
we have the tub with the flipper in it. So the problems here, as you can see, there's a lot of repair done with a butt ton of hot glue on a lot of these rails. The common issue is they get brittle, right? You've got these hot lamps underneath them, they get brittle, they snap. The other very common
You
issue...
can take a step back
Yeah.
and then
The-
Midge refocus, please.
The other big issue is the standoffs themselves get extraordinarily brittle and then they snap. So it can be a double-edged thing, but I've noticed in the past it's the standoffs that give first, and that's what causes the problem. So we have a kit you can buy from us. I think it's like $45 or something, and it's new plastic bits. They're cut from PETG, which is a super duper duper tough plastic, and it comes with all the standoffs you need to reinstall the whole set. So I don't know, I might do it. It would take me like 15 minutes. I'll probably do it once we stop rolling. And then I'll go fix my Deadpool, and then I'll go fix my other pinball games across the town. But
Why are all your pinball machines broken, Kyle?
because people are playing them a lot, so thank you. Deadpool's not broken, I'm just doing something cosmetic. The ball is...
Good game.
Hey, thanks. I won the basketball game, and I got an orange. And it has a little orange ball. We should paint basketball lines on
Stay
this thing.
hydrated.
I really
Yeah.
do.
And did you get the butt pat?
I got the butt pat.
Or the
Oh,
lower back pat?
they didn't see it, but I got a
no,
nice
we
butt
got
pat.
we got the side camera. We saw the pack.
So yeah, that's NBA Fastbreak. It's an incredible game, and you should own one at some point. I really want to eat this. I'm going to
Me-
put it down next to this piece of orange. Is there any questions? How far are we in for time?
We're at 4:30,
Wow.
so we got 30 minutes. We're gonna still kind of talk about the game, talk about transmission. But if you guys have any questions for Kyle, since this is your weekly time with Mr. Spiteri, our awesome pinball
You know what I'll do?
technician,
While we're doing a
Drop 'em in the
Q&A, I'm going to start replacing these plastic bits
and
on
don't
the floor.
forget, our Mother's Day campaign is going on right now. Before Mother's Day is May 9th. It's Sunday. Make sure you get gifts for your mom.
Yes. I sent my mom a gift, and my mother-in-law is coming to visit.
Aw, that's
So
awesome.
I've got all sorts of Mother's
Take care
Day
of your moms,
plans.
y'all. They're important people.
I will take my mother-in-law to this fine establishment so she can come play video games and pinball, etc.
What are you doing? Hey!
Here is said kit. I think I showed it really quick, but
This thing is gorilla. I can't even do it.
Oh gosh. There is so much glue here that it is fused to the side of the tub.
Throw them on the floor.
We might not replace this one, but I'm going to replace the one that broke just a few days ago at least. Do you see all the glue on this thing? This is insane. This is normal, but this is insane. That's like someone used the whole hot glue stick just to fix that one piece of plastic.
Let's see.
I mean, it worked.
Some people didn't go to arts and crafts bit of school enough, I think.
Did you see Permonson first?
I'm going to replace the one that you fixed because that one is really bad. I'll probably replace all of them except for that one because I don't have the stuff to heat that hot glue up and try to get it done right, you know?
I do have a heat gun if you want.
I want a heat gun, but I don't want to do that now. So we'll do it to the best of our abilities.
Kyle, Obi asked when are you getting that Twilight Zone? I just spent 20 plus hours jazzing up and tuning mine this week. Lordy.
Twilight Zone's a great game. I will put my Twilight Zone together as soon as I can get Josh to come to my house and help me move it. And then we will put it together and we'll do a weekend stream fixing Twilight Zone for sure.
Nice.
Okay. The other best thing you can do while you're back here, and you don't need to have it, the back box tub off, but replace these with LEDs, like immediately. All of your games should have at least a few LEDs to reduce current draw, but this will get really brittle and break. So LEDs are a must. And I can't get the dang plastic off the back.
Oh no.
There we go. Deficiencies.
CNK wants to know how many fathoms and all of us are ordering.
How many what?
Fathoms. The Haggis Pinball Fathom remakes.
I hope a lot of people have ordered Fathoms. I think it's pretty neat. It just makes me wonder how long pinball companies are going to be able to sell remakes. You know? I love what Chicago Gaming is doing, but I just wonder how long, you know, you'll be able to keep selling old stuff, you know?
Yeah, all mermaid versions. CNK, how many fathoms are you ordering? Oh, and yeah, Colin, you just reminded me. So maybe one day this month, possibly next month. Wait, what month is this? Maybe one day in May, possibly in June, we want to do a live stream of a tech party. If you guys are familiar with tech party, everyone comes and congregates in one area and works on each person's individual game, and it's kind of like a pinball accountability party, you know? Everyone just hangs out and works on their games together. They do that a lot before shows to get all the games up and running before the event. We want to do it virtually, so everyone's at their house with their webcams, and we'll all zoom in, and then I'll kind of switch back and forth between all of our feeds, and we'll just have this awesome virtual pinball repair tech party.
I think that sounds really fun.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Because like I stream on the weekend because everyone else holds me accountable when I say I want to stream, and then we get work done. If I just say, oh, I'm going to work on a pinball game, I never do it. So
if you guys are interested in joining in on the stream, like actually participating, please let me know. Shoot me an email, emoto@marcopinball.com, or you can even join our Discord group where we're starting to talk about it. Where'd I put my restream chat? I'm going to drop a link to the Discord group so you guys can connect with us. It should be pretty cool. It doesn't matter the era. Let's get all different eras of games. And it'll just be like live switching between pinball. Be like, here's Colin Baxter working on his bow and arrow. Here's Kyle working on Emoto's hard body sound card.
We do need all sorts of games because it's way more fun.
Yeah, let's try to get like at least 10 people, maybe more. Let's make it crazy.
That's ambitious.
It's ambitious. We have like 8 people already, maybe, interested, depending on the time.
Well, that makes me happy.
then we can all help each other fix each other's games. So maybe you get stuck at a part, and then Kyle will be like, oh yeah, I've worked on that game before, you can do this, this, and this. You know?
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I have 3 games to fix at home right now.
Mr. Loaf, break them. Do some Hollywood magic.
I got to do all that work on
Awesome.
Twilight Zone. That's something that needs to happen, and it will happen on the stream. And then I've got an F14 that needs a little bit of love, and I just have to finish my Grand Prix. I've got a lot of stuff to work with.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it before Allentown PinFest. I think we might be going to that show too. Do a little live streaming there. So yeah, let's plan. And everyone that needs to get their games up and ready for PinFest can join in too. That would be cool.
When is
Jaded,
Allentown?
that would be cool. We'll switch over and be like, look at Jaded cleaning off the DDR pads.
When
Anything
is
you wanna
Allentown
work
again,
on. It'll
Imoto?
be really cool. Allentown is the last weekend of July. I believe it's July
okay.
30th. It's an
That'll be good to get out
awesome
of Columbia.
festival up in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's like the biggest swap meet for pinball. So we always bring a lot of our spare parts and stuff like that up to that show and sell them there locally. And a lot of other people do it too, so it's a really great show to go. You should go to Allentown. Or wait, you should come to Allentown with us.
Let's do it.
Yeah, last weekend of July.
Only for the farmer's market across the street.
Yeah, Midge said if only for the farmer's market across the street. There's apparently really good Amish food up there too. Oh, Mr. Loaf will be there. Yay.
Oh, I gotta go then.
Oh yeah. Kyle's booking his flight now.
No, you're booking my flight for me. I thought.
He knows
I got
how
an
it
email
works.
from American Airlines the other day, and it made me so mad. It was like, you have only a little bit of time to use your miles.
Oh no, why?
It's like, because I haven't used them in a year.
they don't
like-
expire, do they?
Well, American Airlines was trying to get me to fly again, I guess, so.
Yeah, Jaded, that would be awesome. Streaming, working on 20 to 25 arcade games, we'll throw it in. That'd be great. Ooh, Roller Pinball, welcome back. Thanks for resubscribe for 9 months. We're this much closer getting this beautiful camera in our kit.
Snap in.
Let's do another, let's do a fun angle. Oh, 1 sec. Yeah, Obi, Allentown's up. Check their website. Let's try this. Blue, blue, blue.
Out with the old, in with the new.
What if we just be like, Kyle, Kyle?
What are you zooming on?
Nothing. I can't believe I grabbed your soldering iron.
I'm so sorry. Did it burn you?
Yeah,
You got a mark?
yeah.
Ouch.
I literally grabbed it like it was the light pole
Oh, God.
because you hung the soldering iron on the light stand. And
Yeah.
I was just like, hiya! Oh, it's burning me.
That
That's
was.
where the soldering iron went. I was like looking for it. I was like, where did he put it? Just in case I don't touch it.
Found it.
And then I was like, oh, I'm going to move the camera. And then I just, yeah, I
think-
found it. Look.
I have a tendency of putting things really tall.
You want a cool cloth or something?
I've been using my ice.
Oh,
I am so
Yeah.
sorry.
It's okay.
That is awful.
I have a
I can be
tongue for
irresponsible with the soldering iron on my own time, but not on company time. I also shouldn't hang things really high at my eye level because not everyone is at my eye level.
Yeah, I'm going to sue Kyle. Then I lose.
You can sue me, but I really don't have much to take.
Ooh, I'll take your house.
Brand new house.
Yeah. How about you just have to make me a permanent
Let's
roommate?
get a Deadpool.
I'd give that
I'll
up.
take your Deadpool.
I'd,
Deadpool's now yours.
I'd give that up in my shame.
I've always wanted a Deadpool.
If you want to be a permanent resident, I can make you a room.
permanent.
I know, that's what everyone's
Sounds
dream is.
scary.
It's not happening.
There must be a legal definition. Man,
So,
I want to go. I'm excited.
Justin Frintz says the NBA Fastbreak is the only WPC machine that does not feature an after ball bonus count. Do you know that?
Yeah, well, that's the neat thing about NBA Fastbreak is that it has a super unconventional scoring system. You score basketball points, so you're getting scores in the hundreds, not in the bagazillions like Medieval Madness or something.
So what would you clean that nasty ball trail with on that bag box?
Oh yeah,
Novus.
how do you clean it?
Notice?
So CNK, yep, just Novus 2.
Yeah,
Novus 2 in a microfiber cloth.
Novus 2 will literally clean everything. It's the most amazing cleaner for plastic things and everything. I use Novus 2 to polish the headlights on my wife's car. Like anything. I've used Novus 2 to take out scratches on my old motorcycles before, just like teeny things. It really is a wonder product.
I used it to clean up the scratches on Mark's truck after I opened the door and
See?
a really long, like 2-foot scratch on his truck.
Oh,
It worked
no.
Great.
That works great.
Don't say that on the stream.
There is a ROM set you can buy that allows you to turn on like pinball scoring.
Oh, really?
Brush your teeth with
Buy back
Novus
the
2.
Nolan's got the cleanest teeth in town.
Yeah.
Wait,
That-
Novus 2 to resurface CDs?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, you can't do it like a lot. You can do it like once or twice. But yeah, it works.
You know, like every toothpaste is approved
an
by 9 out of
awesome
10 dentists? Yeah, one dentist. That's the guy that approves Novus. Yeah. People might say that it's a conspiracy against that dentist, but he's right.
CNK asked if they had bacon flavored Novus.
We can arrange that. Steve, call the CEO.
I'm on it.
This is actually going along swimmingly, so I will probably continue until I get to that awful gluey bit.
Oh lordy. Does anyone else have any questions for Kyle? Not necessarily related to NBA Fastbreak, but maybe you're working on a game and you're stuck. You want to ask Kyle and the chat to get you to that next.
I have a question for the chat.
Oh, okay.
What are we drinking today? I mean, I know Colin's been
I
just
thought that was
pining.
going to be Colin's question. We're at a bar right now.
Yeah, we're at a bar. I think I'm going to have maybe a stout next. A stout from Charleston.
You want it now?
Yes, I would like one now, please.
Such great service.
Can we ask the chat, how has the video quality been? How has the sound quality been? Like, we're on a
They love
really
it.
bad upload connection right now, so I'm really curious how the streams come through.
They said this is the best stream we've ever done.
Great. Yeah, because Moto got injured. I dropped something.
bar.
It's loud.
Whoa, pineapple, Fago.
There's Midge.
Pretty good.
This is all we
Is
had
that
to do to get
Bad Out
Midge
of Hell
in.
by Meatloaf's drink?
No, that was CNJ. Drinking pineapple, Fago.
Oh, I'm all cool with that. That sounds good. I bet Mr. Meatloaf is drinking something fancy, like some vermouth and just straight vermouth. That's how fancy he is.
Awesome. Thank you so much. The service here is amazing.
Yeah, I got patted on the butt too. That's another. This has been the best stream ever.
Not guaranteed.
Thank you.
That's on butts, not guaranteed.
Not all the time.
I'm good still, thank you.
Ooh, that's nice. South Carolina does have a pretty good beer community. There's a lot of good breweries coming out of
Our
our
oranges.
little state. We can buy beer on Sundays now. But yeah, okay. Well, hey, it worked.
Mr. Loaf said Fernet is not fancy. What is wrong with you people?
Fernet's not.
Sure it's pronounced Fernet.
Fernet.
Fernet isn't fancy,
Where's
but
your
Fernet, that's fancy.
Cabernet Sauvignon.
Yeah. Fernet's good.
Whatever.
Come on, this is the peeling the plastic protection bits off of this is harder than installing these dang things into the game. But yeah, again, just if anyone's still paying attention to the game, these little things, these are
Oh, focus. This is
are
a
bad.
great opportunity to take advantage of how awesome this lens is. Focus on that. Yep. Keep going.
The standoffs are the
Oh, right
problematic
there.
bit.
Yeah.
The plastics break, as we can see, and it's usually the plastic bits that take. I mean, let's talk about this too before we go. The bits that break and the reasons they break are the bits that take the most impact, right? Even though it's a plastic ball that doesn't weigh much, this flipper is kicking it up around and just striking over and over and over again. The more brittle this gets, it doesn't take much force to start snapping these things. The other plastic that's really commonly broken is here, because as the ball is rolling up and around, it also gathers some speed until it goes BAM and slams into the back. That's why those are always broken. These guys aren't usually broken. It's usually the standoffs that break because you've got double light bulbs around them. We will be changing these to LEDs before I leave, a couple of them. As many as I have. I need to make another LED order. But yeah, a little more science. I want to use warm whites. I think you only have cool whites, Josh. Warm whites to match the colors of a warm basketball stadium. Or something, I don't know. Man, you know what? Allentown's going to be cool because if Bad at Hell by Meatloaf is going to be up there. I know Ramp-O-Matic is going to be there. There will probably also be a group of people. That might be the first time when, that might be the first, that is going to probably be the first pinball show we maybe go to. No.
MGC Lock-In Nights.
This is going to be the first time I'm ever in
Mouse,
Pennsylvania.
yeah.
There, we can get a first out of it.
Adding to cart, awesome. Yeah, exactly.
Don't forget about the free shipping.
Yeah,
code.
don't forget to use your free shipping for orders over $99 code. Or if you're international, $10 off shipping for orders over $99. I love being able to say that for international people.
The what?
For the international code, $10 off.
Yeah,
For orders
please
over
use it.
$99.
And if y'all are going to buy things and have them shipped internationally, also send me an email and I'll throw you something fun into the package.
Oh, at Allentown, Homer said everyone should wear a name tag with their Twitch handle on it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe we should do like a after hours party
That might be
somewhere in
okay.
Allentown where we can all
Are they
meet up.
555s, the push-in ones?
And we
I
can
think
all
they
meet
are
in
because I put them in
person.
whitewater before
can
you
all
sold
see
it.
how
These guys?
Tall Kyle is and how short
Don't worry about it.
I am.
We'll figure it out. The natural whites would look good in here though. It wouldn't be the right tone, so. I don't need a name tag because I look
Oh,
like
wow.
Frankenstein.
Justin, do you think that's because so many people converted their NBA Fastbreaks to Medieval Madness?
That's
why
that's
they're not
awful.
registered?
That makes me so sad.
It's a terribly sad.
So listen to this fun fact from,
I don't know if I
from
like it.
Justin Prince. Medieval Madness and NBA have both similar production numbers, around 4,000. Of the Medieval Madnesses, around 1,200 are still registered on Pinside by owners. Of NBA, only 395.
Yeah, that's.
they
I mean,
all changed 'em.
here's the thing though: is like people don't like, they don't lose their proverbial S when they see NBA Fastbreak. But there's a lot of people that get super excited. People want Medieval Madness. People collect it. They think it's neat. I've been to so many I guess that's something to remember as well, right? Just because you have pinball machines doesn't mean you care about Pinside or the pinball community. There's a lot of people that I've worked on their pinball machines for that have owned them for 25 years, and they're Pinside. What? I mean, there's tons I've seen so many home use only Medieval Madnesses and Monster Bashes that belong to old people in their pool houses, right? So just because there's only 300 of these on Pinside doesn't mean there's only 300 or 400 left.
Nice.
I'm sure most of them still exist.
Mitch is such a quick learner. Okay, great.
That being said, another thing about this game too, the later games, I had to talk to some of my coworkers about this because they were confused. The later games, I don't know when, but the lockdown bars came from the factory. So on early games like Twilight Zones, Addams Families and stuff, if you have this hardware on, it's because an operator drilled holes and put these whatever they're called, hasps on. Thank you, Steve. The later games, starting around probably the Johnny Mnemonic 96 kind of time, every single game had these. So, I've seen people on Facebook be like, oh, your Monster Basher's at home use only. It's got lockdown bars stuff. And, it's like, yeah, it is. Well, it doesn't matter. It came from the factory that way. It doesn't matter if it has that or not. So.
Does anyone want an NBA Fastbreak playfield? Hit
Yes.
up Nolan. Dang.
I mean, maybe we'll just buy the playfield from you because I think there's a lot of parts we don't have. So don't go selling it yet. Let me double check some stuff.
Yeah, Nolan, hit us up. Help us out.
Yeah, because he's turning it into a medieval madness.
John asked, please elaborate on all these pins you've seen in pool houses.
I mean, that's where a lot of rich people put their pinball machines because they don't want them in their house, right?
Oh, like a pool house, not a pool house. Not a pool hall, but a pool house.
No, yeah, like rich people have a big old, basically a house behind their house for their pool. And I mean, I knew a customer I had in Napa that had a Cactus Canyon in his pool house. He's owned it since 1999, right? There's plenty of people out there that have no idea that pinball community exists. They just happen to have owned these things forever, so. I always try to educate them, but to them it's just a fun toy, It's not their hobby or it's not their.
I like that chat's direction here with the shirtless Kyle Bullboy action.
I know, right?
Sexy guy.
All your fans, Kyle, want to see you.
Before I got this gut,
Better get
I
a
mean, I look
tan.
pretty good in a bathing suit.
Look at this guy.
Well, but you don't have the long mermaid hair to go like this out of the pool.
Right?
So.
I have deficiencies. We're all.
Thanks, SK.
Yeah, I admit, that guy, that dude that had that Cactus Canyon was neat. Just because he showed me like the receipts for he bought it from Betson, it was kind of fun. He just likes cowboys, so he found cowboy pinball machine. He was just like, I'll buy that one. But yeah, what are the weirdest places I've seen pinball machines? I always like it when those rich folks have them in like their garage with all their Ferraris and stuff like that too. I had a Corvette collector that had a Corvette pinball machine with his collection of like 9 Corvettes, which was really cool. I like pinball machines when they're with people that collect memorabilia too. I had a customer that collected Back to the Future memorabilia. So his Back to the Future pinball machine was next to his kitted out DeLorean, which was next to his stock DeLorean, which was next to, every neat thing from the movie you can think of. The Marty McFly sneakers and the hoverboards and, signed everything. And
That's awesome.
I don't know. I
All
like
right,
collections.
hey, we have a real tech question.
What's
Since
up?
we're running out of time soon anyways. Thank you, Saguido. Dog soccer, doggy soccer, rough soccer. High power coils not working in test mode. I can play one ball right after turning on the machine, then it won't serve ball 2. Any ideas?
It won't work in test mode. You can turn the game on and it will serve one ball and never serve another one. Does the software acknowledge that you drained the ball? It doesn't work in test mode at all.
The high power coils are not working in test mode.
All the high power coils aren't working?
It acknowledges the drain.
So you've got I think the high powered coils are on 2 strings, but if it works once, you're likely, ow, what's in my pocket? You're not gonna have a blown fuse.
1 to 8 doesn't work in test.
Yeah, so check and see if the fuse is blown first. You're gonna have a fuse for that in the back box, which may or may not be blown. That's where I'd start. The other things you want to start looking for are broken voltage wires. Just like a switch matrix, the coils are daisy chained. So a lot of the time, like the first coil in the back on that string will have 2 wires going to it. The next one will have another 2, and you'll find one that has 1 wire. If you break the double wire in the back, or further back before you get to the 1, everything after that will be busted. It won't work. You're missing voltage to it, so that's common too. But I mean, check easy stuff first, right? Go in the back and see if a fuse is blown. That's where you would start. I would start. That's where you should start.
Nice. Good luck, Saguido. If you still have questions, join our Discord. We're on there all the time. You can continue the conversation there.
Every single Discord channel
tips.
I'm on is muted except for the Marco one, because that's the one that I enjoy interacting with people on,
you guys
except
have
for
the
the Columbia
Discord?
one too. Because that's where everyone tells me where all my games are broken and then I have to go fix them.
Posted now.
But yeah, dog soccer, good game.
Battery exhausted. Hey.
Sound should be back.
Hello.
Sound
welcome
back, maybe?
We did a battery swap. Beautiful Sony cam.
Do we have
Hi.
levels again?
Welcome back. Well, y'all,
Thank goodness.
it's getting close to 5. Any last questions? Let us know. I'm gonna drop again my obligatory
Any last statements?
free shipping for orders
Criticisms?
over $99 code for our domestic viewers, or $10 off international shipping for orders over $99 for our international viewers.
Hey, this one's easy. I didn't even need to match this one up.
We've had a really great time shooting on location at Transmission Arcade. Before we go, I'll do another little walkthrough thing with this nice camera. Let's see how far I can get with the HDMI camera. After this, I'm going to go live again. Maybe on Twitch, maybe not on Twitch. But Bang Back Pinball, they're having their Women's League finals tonight. I got my Bang Back shirt underneath my Marco shirt, ready to go. And
Yeah, you do your walk around so then everyone can publicly shame me in the chat for letting you burn your hand. So get your insults ready.
okay, do you want to sit where I'm sitting?
Yeah, I'll let everyone shame
Kyle
me.
really wants to chat with y'all, so
I just
want
wanna
to
get-
Ooh, look at that lens flare. Ooh, oh,
Oh God.
beautiful. So beautiful. My shoes
This was
untied.
ridiculous and fun. So now everyone shame me for hurting Emoto's hand. Hit me with your best shot.
Hit me with your best shot.
Be like, wow, that tall guy
Did you
is
see
dumb.
that lens flare was so gorgeous? Look at it.
I don't have a solder iron stand in my toolbox that I carry with me on location. Because normally I'll just hang it from the shooter rod,
Watch this.
or I will hang it, or put it in the lockdown bar. But this time I didn't do that.
So cinematic. Oh, that's
Oh,
Dang.
let's go.
This camera is rad.
all right, I'm gonna,
J.J. Abrams now.
right?
That tall guy is dumb.
Do you want to wrangle this cable for me? I think you gotta
I don't
pull
have
it
tons
off.
of feeling left in my fingers or hand, so I forget about how bad soldering iron burns actually are. Oh dang, check that out.
I think you're on a short leash.
No, I don't want to be on a short
Josh
leash.
is a
want to explore.
videographer by other trade, so he's got an incredible camera that we are now shooting the arcade with.
Ooh. I'm not gonna walk too
Hey,
far.
what kind of
until I
lens
have a
is that
cable
on the
wrangler.
camera?
This is a Rokinon 35 millimeter.
Yeah, no, that's what Ty just said. That's a Rokinon
1.5,
lens flare
yeah.
if I've ever seen one.
Oh, Ty, you know it, baby.
He knows it.
Yeah,
B
look at
Smith, no problem for servicing. Now you should come down here because I'll
Okay.
probably be here for another hour or so. And B Smith says 35 millimeter, 1.4.
Can I go further?
We've got a lot of videographers
Let's get on
in the
here.
chat. I wish I was nearly as talented as you guys. If it wasn't for Emoto, this would suck. So
No, this is what Kyle was working on. The back box.
I owe Emoto a lot of things. I'm gonna probably buy her some food. She's been staying at my house for the past week, and it's been very
that's
fun.
more than enough.
Nah, that's not
are
payment enough. I
awesome
burnt your
hosts.
hand. She's been smacking me at Mario Kart like every night
Yeah,
though.
no one can touch me on Mario Kart. Sorry, y'all. Oh, this is pretty cool.
Got lazy after hour 20 and opted not to swap after a new few.
I can move further.
Be nice to your
Can
Twilight
you show
Zone.
me how far?
That's your shade right there.
Jaded
you
says
wrangle
you
it?
have a talent for injuring people. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Oh, Brett is on his way shortly, so we will see him. Oh, hold on. You're pulling the computer now.
I will not pull anymore.
Wait, hold on. I might be able to get you more leash, though. I'm trying to give
Peeking.
Emoto her creative freedom.
Ooh.
Burning her doesn't help.
Killer Queen. I love Killer Queen.
With great pleasure comes intense pain.
Yeah, if you go over the
I really want to battle him.
Isn't it rad? Having Killer Queen in Colombia is really fun. Josh has good taste in video games. If you can't tell, all of the games are running superior CRT monitors.
Is this Transmission Arcade?
Superior
Okay.
for headaches and pain.
It looks so great.
Skee-ball stream would be good. They have
Crossing cables.
skee-ball tournaments here every once in a while. Hey, no problem for the tips. Thanks for coming by. Killer Queen is amazing. Yeah, please take pictures of Twilight Zone. I can't wait to see. You can get Killer Queen on Steam now. Wow.
yeah.
Well, that's cool, but I also have Killer Queen 5 blocks away. So as soon as the pandemic is, as soon as we're all able to be a little more friendly with each other, we'll be playing Killer Queen in person.
It's a beautiful bar, y'all.
That's cool though. Killer
Oh, yeah,
Queen
and
on
then
Steam
look-
is neat. If you ever get a chance at a show, play Black Emperor. That's an incredible game.
Oh wait, hey, can you tell us about this mural?
Josh is going to tell us about his mural that he painted of Colombia.
Heavily inspired by the
And then I'll get to you,
overworld
Skolson.
maps of Super Mario and Zelda. And there's some Final Fantasy overworld map elements as well. And then the buildings are kind of random Columbia landmarks.
That's awesome.
Except there's one way down there that's just Bowser's Castle.
Oh yeah. You gotta have Bowser's Castle in there. It's so. And who's the artist that did this?
I did this. I had help from
You
lots
did
of
this?
people. I had help from lots
Oh my
of people.
gosh.
But yeah, we just projected it and went from there. And so each map is like
God, that camera is
desert,
amazing.
Sewer, grass, ice, fire.
I love it.
With our powers combined, planet Earth.
Heart. Awesome.
Yeah, no one is playing Pinball Nolan because it is 5 o'clock. They've been open for an hour. When you come in at night, the pinball games are generally quite crowded. But hey, who doesn't love video games, you know? Video games in the right environment are really fun. Okay, let's see. Really, we have one last question. Yes, it is fine to ask a question. Stargate blows the F2 primary power fuse from time to time. When it powers on, it works fine, but randomly the fuse goes. Tried reseating. Can I?
Shoot for the pyramid.
Yeah, just shoot for the pyramid. That's no. Well, first off, if you're frustrated, you can sell me Stargate because I really want a Stargate, but I'm not going to give it there. Primary power fuse. When you turn it on, do you get the big clunk from that System 3 game? I know most System 3 games give you the beep beep thing,
You didn't
which is
even
normal.
finish your repair.
Oh, I'm almost done. I don't know. That's hard. I
Look
would
at
make
that.
sure that you have.
It's a mess.
It randomly goes when powering it
why our
on,
studio
not when
looks
it's
like
running.
this.
So make sure you don't have
Parts
coils that are locking on.
How do I do this?
Coils that are locking on when you power up are usually signs that there's something goofy going on with your computer. But you know what? I'll be totally honest. The fuse goes, yeah. I'm not super good with System 3 games. I've never run into that problem before, so I really don't have great advice. But I would say, obviously, check PinWiki first.
The delay
Nolan
is
says
so
solder something, Emoto.
funny. Yeah, my hand.
Next time.
I'll solder my hand.
I would check PinWiki and then get with me if you can't figure it out. I'd like to learn what's going on. Because I actually have never owned a System 3 game. I really want one. Yeah, definitely one of the best Premier games, because you got to shoot for the pyramid.
And it's Stargate.
Yeah, and it's Stargate. That movie and SG-1 are great.
Atlantis is great. I like all this stuff.
Never seen Atlantis.
Atlantis is great.
It might be good. I'll watch it. Steve says it's great.
Steve says it's good.
Question, I have a fishtail that shoots sometimes a second ball 10 seconds after the first ball was launched. Check all your trough switches. Fishtails doesn't use a ball trough, but it has like the 3 switches underneath, so make sure that those are all fine. Also check your switches in the lock optos. So, hey, Andrew, APB Enterprises subscribed for 10 months.
Andrew, buddy,
That's
I miss
amazing.
you. That's for Andrew.
Aw.
Buddy.
Okay, I could sit here and talk all day,
Wait, so
but
stand up real quick as the end shot so you guys can finally see our height difference. Ah.
Emoto and I are a power combo. We've got everything covered here. Cinematography, pinball, low things, high things. We're a power combo. Yeah.
All right, next week, y'all, we are bringing out Data East Simpsons.
Oh, we
back
are
in the
now.
Studio.
Oh, okay.
It's on the list.
I can't read.
We're gonna be rebuilding it, and Crystal will be on the show doing her awesome pintroduction. We'll cover all things Simpsons pinball, which will be a lot of fun. And then the next week, we're gonna try to do a flipper rebuild and hopefully bring Kelly Mayo, one of our other customer service
Yes.
representatives. I was gonna say technicians, and she's gonna come and do the flipper rebuild with us.
She's a technician. I showed
She
her how
is a
to rebuild
technician, yeah.
one side of my TNA flipper, and she just ripped through the other one
gonna
without
be fun.
making mistakes. She's amazing, and she's fun to talk to, so.
Brilliant and kind.
Brilliant, kind, and lovely.
Yeah. Kelly's awesome. Crystal's awesome. Thank you all so much for joining us. We did it, our first on-location stream.
Yeah.
So now get ready for us to come to your town. If you have an arcade, or even you want us to come shoot at your house, you have a cool game, maybe something rare that we can work on, shoot us a message, emoto@marcopinball.com or Kyle@marcopinball.com.
We want to go to
Marco
Colin's
TV
house.
at marcopinball.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colin, we're coming to your house. We'll see you guys next time. Next week, same time. Same place.
Yeah, who are we rating?
Different place.
That was
we
fun.
have to raid someone.
Yeah, did you end?
Thank you so
Oh.
much. No, I didn't.
I always forget.
What do we do without Midge? We don't share the love. Bagatelle stream? Ooh.
Bagatelle stream would be amazing.
Let's go to Japan and do a pachinko stream. Pachinko
Yeah.
parlor stream.
Please come to the Netherlands. Okay. You don't have to ask me twice.
Yes, I would love to. Hey, look, that's us.
We're streaming? Oh, wow. Look at that's us.
Well, we need to give love to someone.
But Manu's streaming.
I know. What is this? Okay. We're gonna go to Mystery Pinball Theater 3000.
All 3,000s of those mysteries in one
All
place.
3,000 Manus.
That's a lot of Manus. I can't put up with that many. Thanks, everybody.
Oh wait, I didn't hit the raid. Don't leave yet. Let's all go to Free Gold Watch, which is probably where this is happening.
I've learned in 10 years of pinball, doesn't matter what.
Is that right?
Everybody will be busted.
Let's raid ourselves. Yeah. All right, we're going to the Bay Area, exploring The Walking Dead right now. Everyone else on Facebook and YouTube, see you guys next time. Join us on Twitch. It's a lot more fun on Twitch.